So just like, ignore this. I totally just woke up from a nap. So if I look like I just rolled out of bed, it's because I actually did. Hey Booktube, what's up? Today I am doing the TMI Booktube. Booktube TMI, too much information about books tag thingy. I don't really know what it's called. Basically it's a TMI tag, but like bookish related stuff. I totally forget the creator's name at the moment, but I will put the link to the original video below. And basically there's just like 50 really interesting in-depth questions about books that I'm going to be answering. And this video is going to take forever, so I'm not even going to bother making like a long intro. Whose book character's clothing style do you like? I kind of really like Shadowhunter gear and I would totally dress in it all the time if I could, so anyone from the Mortal Instruments series. Who is your book boyfriend slash fictional crush? Do I even have to say it at this point? Go through this like 50 times a video. Jace, Wayland, Morgenstern, Herondale, Lightwood, person. Ever loved a book character, then started hating them? All the time. I want to find a specific example. I loved Adam in Shatter Me, but then in the rest of the series, I just couldn't stand the kid. So yes, I loved him at first, totally shipped him with Juliet, and then as the series went on, I just kind of hated him more and more and more. Biggest or longest book on your shelf? I think the champion for the longest book on my shelf is Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. We're not gonna talk about this. Heaviest book on your shelf? I don't weigh my books. I think The Invention of Hugo Cabret is probably the heaviest book on my shelf because it kind of hurts just holding it right now. Because there's over 500 pages of just pictures, not including the story, so maybe this one is the longest, but really freaking heavy. Do you have any book posters? I had one a while ago for the movie poster for Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1, I think it was. But I put a couple of shelves where the poster was, so I think I took it down and I have no idea where it is now. Do you have any book-themed jewelry? So I have my Isabel Lightwood snake slash whip bracelet that I love. I have my Morgenstern ring. I have my Isabel Lightwood ruby pendant necklace. I have this Deathly Hallows necklace I got from Hot Topic like 5 years ago for like $2. And then I have my Time Turner, which I really don't feel like taking off its holder because it's just a pain in the ass to put back on. The exhaustion in this video is palpable and I apologize for how unenthusiastic I am. Book OTP. Which one? Favorite book series? Can you tell? Do you see the obsession? Favorite book to movie soundtrack? City of Bones. I literally listened to this soundtrack non-stop for months. A lot of my all-time favorite songs are on this soundtrack, and I found them because of this soundtrack. It is just beautiful, and if you haven't listened to it yet, you need to. The Divergent soundtrack gets an honorable mention because there were 4 Ellie Goulding songs on there. So yes, this one was amazing too. Book story you miss slash wish would continue. It is very rare that I don't want a story to continue, so I don't know if I could pick just one. Like, I'm never like completely satisfied with an ending. Like, yes, there are books where this ending is completely satisfying, it doesn't leave off a cliffhanger or anything, but I always want more, so I can't even answer that one. Favorite standalone? So let's go down to my contemporary shelf. It's really hard for me to pick a favorite, but Since You've Been Gone by Morgan Matson was like really good, like one of my favorite standalone contemporary reads of the year. If you haven't picked it up yet, you definitely should because it is so good. Since when do you read books? I actually really wanted to make a video about this, but long story short, I was a big reader as a kid. As I got into like middle school and high school, I stopped reading, and then last year when I saw the Mortal Instruments movie, I started reading the Mortal Instruments, and it just catapulted into this crazy reading obsession. So I like to think of October as like my rebirth into reading. Which Hogwarts house are you in? When Pottermore was like a thing and people actually were excited about it, I was sorted into Gryffindor as a beta tester. So I like to say I'm in Gryffindor. Quality you look for in a book. Too many. Very attractive characters. Not necessarily physically attractive, although that is a plus, but characters that I'll absolutely love, whether they're good or evil. I like fast-paced books. I don't like to be bored reading the first half of a book because that'll sometimes ruin the second half for me, but also not whiny bitches. I like really compelling plots, but I feel like all of these are just a given, so I'm just gonna stop now. Basically, I just like really high quality books with a lot of content and a lot of work put into them. And honestly, it doesn't take much to please me at all. Like, I think there's probably only like 4 books on my shelf that I don't absolutely love. Favorite book quote? I feel like I've answered this question like 6 times. Either Flecterius Iniquio Superos Acheronta Move Bo, which translates to if I cannot move heaven I will raise hell, or the love that moves the sun and all the other stars. Obviously from the Mortal Instruments. Favorite author? You know, I don't know. It's impossible to tell. I just can't choose. Favorite book cover? I love all the Mortal Instruments covers. I love all the Percy Jackson favorite covers. I love all the Shatter Me covers. I like covers. I don't really have a preference. Action or romance? Action, romance. Where do you go when a sad moment happens? I kind of don't, if I'm like really, really depressed while reading, I don't move. I just kind of sit there and keep reading, so wherever I'm reading. How long do you need for a book? I used to say a book would take me like 2 days, but now I'm at like, because school started and everything, I'm at like a 3 to 5 day process, which is kind of upsetting, but it doesn't take me that long. Like some people, it'll take them weeks to finish a book. I'm just like, what? I read as much as I can, so it really varies. How long is your morning period? That one varies too. Like with City of Heavenly Fire, I finished it and started it right again in the same sitting. But like with the testing and the Lunar Chronicles and stuff, I'll have the second book on my shelf, but like I'll just kind of lay in bed and cradle my book for like 20 minutes. So it really, really varies. Least favorite book. This summer I turned Pretty Trilogy. I absolutely hated all 3 books, so that's probably my least favorite books and series of all time. I literally feel like delirious because I'm so tired. Why am I filming? Turn on in a character. Witty, sarcastic, protective, attractive. Pretty much every character trait Jace Wayland has. Turn off in a character. Not being Jace Wayland. Reason you joined Booktube. The immediate reason I joined was because I saw a couple of videos that were like the Mortal Instruments pronunciation videos where people were just showing the different ways they pronounce different words in the books. And I really wanted to make a video like that, so I made one, and that was kind of like, that was my second Booktube video, I think. And then the larger scale reason was I just really wanted to be a part of a community that loves to talk about books. Name a scary book. I don't think I have any really scary like young adult ones that I have on my shelf, but you know the books I'm talking about, like the book that was called like Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, and the other one that I loved as a kid was like called like In a Dark Dark Room or something like that. But they're like the short scary children's stories, and like you know exactly what I'm talking about. The ones that you got from your school library in 3rd grade, you know what ones I'm talking about. Those books scared the crap out of me at age 7. To be honest, sometimes I kind of listen to the audiobooks of those because they're just, oh, they were so good. Last book that made you cry. I feel like crying at a book is like a preconceived notion as a fangirl. I honestly don't cry at books a lot. When there's like a series or an author that I'm really, really invested in, I'll cry. But it's not like I'll pick up a random book from Barnes & Noble and just start crying about it if I don't like feel really, really strongly about it. So I honestly don't remember the last one I cried at. Last book you gave 5 stars. I haven't finished Cress on Goodreads yet. So the last book I rated 5 stars was Marissa Meyer. Holy crap, the Lunar Chronicles, man. If you have not picked these up, you need to. They're so good. The last time I felt this much anticipation for the next book in a novel was probably the Mortal Instruments. So you need to go pick these up. Any favorite book titles? I like the Harry Potter titles. I like the Mortal Instruments, the Infernal Devices titles. I like the Testing titles. I like the titles from the Mara Dyer series where it's like the Unbecoming, the Evolution, and the Retribution of Mara Dyer. I like the Darkest Minds trilogy titles, how it's like the Darkest Minds never fade in the afterlight and like the whole trilogy makes a sentence. I really like the titles in the Shadow Me series because the titles reflect the covers, and the covers and the titles reflect the stories, and I really, really like that about that series. I don't know, I just really like book titles and everything that has to do with books. Like, I can't remember the last time I really didn't like a book title. Last book you read. So you know how I said that I just woke up from a nap? The only time I can nap is when I'm reading, so like I'll read for 15 minutes and then I'll fall asleep. And then I'll wake up and read for another 15 minutes and then fall asleep. So like 10 minutes ago I finished Cress by Marissa Meyer, and it was amazing. Oh my god, I need winter like yesterday. Book you're currently reading. Because I just finished Cress and started making this video, I am not currently reading a book. I think next I'm going to start the reading for Eclipse for the Twilight read-along because I've been behind on that. It's like 2 weeks into September and I haven't read anything yet. But then after that, I'm going to be reading Ignite by Lily Paradis. I don't know how to pronounce her last name, I'm sorry. I was sent this book for a review, how exciting! I am so excited to read this book, and there will definitely be a review of sometime this month. So stay tuned for that. I am super excited for this read, and you should all go and pick it up. Last book adaptation you watched. I think I watched Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone like a week ago. I'm kind of like sporadically rewatching Harry Potter. Like anytime I don't have anything to watch, I'll just watch one of the movies. An author you've always wanted to talk to. Normally I would say Cassandra Clare, but I already met Cassandra Clare and talked to her for way longer than I was supposed to. So it doesn't really count, but I'd probably want to talk to her again. I'd love to talk to J.K. Rowling and Rick Riordan and Stephanie Meyer and Marissa Meyer, who I'm really hoping to go to a book signing in October. I want to talk to all the authors. Just talk to all the authors. A book character you've always wanted to talk to. All of them. Favorite book snack. I don't really have a favorite snack. I like to drink tea while I read, but that can cause problems when I'm laying in bed because I tend to always spill it on myself. But I don't think I have a favorite snack. I kind of eat constantly and I read constantly, so the two just kind of intertwine. Book world you want to live in. Anything fantasy. I am obsessed with fantasy worlds. It's one of the reasons why they're my favorite genre. So just anything fantasy. Book world you would least want to live in. Anything dystopian. I can't think of one dystopian that I'd want to live in. Last time you smelled a book. I actually know the answer to this one. So when I first got this book in the mail, I literally just walked around my house and sniffed it for like 15 minutes. Oh my god, it smells so good. I can't like identify a smell with it. Like there's nothing that like I think it smells like, but it smells so good. Weirdest insult from a book. I don't really know what that means, so I can't really answer it. Favorite romance book. I don't think there is a single book on my shelf, at least one that I've read, that doesn't have a romance or eventually ended in a romance. So I just all of them. Don't make me choose. I have too many OTPs for this. Do you write? I've been trying to. I have an idea for either duology or trilogy, but like it's developed enough and I'm just kind of working on it for now, like working on like the characters and the plot and the history of the world and stuff. So I haven't written anything yet, but I'm trying to. Favorite magical item? Everything magical. There is just a never-ending list of magical things that I love. Everything in the Mortal Instruments, everything in Harry Potter, everything in Percy Jackson, I love everything magical. I feel like this video is just me giving you a bunch of general answers, and I'm sorry. Your Quidditch position. I have no hand-eye coordination, so I don't think I could be anything, but I think if I had to choose, I'd probably be a better chaser than anything. Name a song you connect to a book. It is still inexplicable to me why I connect this song to the book, but whenever I hear Counting Stars by One Republic, I always think of the Hunger Games. The only real connection I think I have to it is when I first started getting into the Hunger Games. Like I saw the movies before, I saw the books, and when I saw Catching Fire and the Hunger Games, it was the time when Counting Stars like first got popular and I first loved it. So I think that's why, but it doesn't have anything to do with the Hunger Games. I don't know why I connected to this. Favorite book-related chat-up line. It's not really a chat-up line, but I feel like the time I would be most attractive to a guy is if he was in front of me and offered to pay for my books. Like, why do you have to buy me a drink? Like, why can't you just buy me books? You have a much better chance of getting my attention if you buy me a book. Why isn't this socially acceptable? I don't know. Have you ever used it? I don't think I've ever actually used a chat-up line in a serious context, and I don't think I'll ever need to. But no, I've never bought books for somebody in the hopes of getting their attention. But maybe I should. Favorite book fandom. Don't make me choose. I'm a part of too many. There is just absolutely no way you're making me pick one. Although we all know it's a Mortal Instrument, so there's no point in me pretending I don't have an answer. How many books do you own? I actually counted recently and I have like over 130, which doesn't seem like a lot, but I've acquired like at least 120 of them over 7 months, which is a lot. Who do you tag? I hate tagging people because I forget people all the time. I'm gonna tag Ray, Selena, Kelly, Red, Enya, Michael, the other Kelly. I'm sorry, I call you the other Kelly all the time, but it's just because I usually tag Kelly's book spell first, but Kelly Potter Dancer, Anna, McKenna, Hannah. I think 10 people is enough to tag. If you heard your name, go below. Look, it's your channel, you're tagged. Go do the TMI Booktuber tag. But that is the TMI Booktuber tag. I apologize for my lack of energy, but I kind of just want to go and take another nap. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you soon for another video. Bye!